In a faraway village, a poor mother and daughter lived hand to mouth, surviving on little more than hope. Every day the mother trudged to other people's fields, laboring long hours as a humble wage worker. While her mother worked the fields, the daughters stayed behind, quietly keeping their small house in order. Too poor to feed themselves alone, the two survived only through the quiet kindness of their neighbors. One day, while the mother was away, a wandering monk came to the door, asking for alms. Though they had almost nothing, the pious daughter searched everywhere for something worthy to offer him. At last, hidden away, she found a small store of precious rice saved for later. She offered him every grain, admitting gently that her mother would surely scold her for it. Moved by her sacrifice, the monk tried gently to refuse such a generous, costly gift. But the girl insisted, and at last the humble monk accepted her offering of rice. That evening the mother returned home, tired and hungry, having found no work that day. She asked her daughter to cook the rice they had saved, longing for a simple meal. Ashamed, the daughter admitted she had given all their rice away to a passing monk. Fury and disbelief flooded the mother's face at the loss of their only food. The mother scolded her harshly, furious that piety had left them with nothing to eat. In her rage, the mother drove her own daughter out, refusing to see her again. Heartbroken and alone, the daughter walked away from the only home she had known. She wandered on and on until she came upon a high and lonely mountain. At the mountain's hermitage, she found by chance the very monk she once helped. She greeted him with relief and asked if he might help a girl with nowhere else. Recognizing her kindness from before, the monk gladly welcomed her to stay with him. But the monk's cat and rooster grew jealous, fearing they would now receive less. The cunning cat suggested they secretly put out the household's only fire. That night the fire was quietly extinguished, its embers drowned in cold water. Come morning, the girl found the hearth cold and could make no fire at all. The monk sent her to fetch fire from a hermit who lived far away. As she walked, a beautiful flower bloomed with every single step she took. At last she reached the hermit's dwelling, tucked deep in the wild mountains. The hermit agreed to give her fire only if she circled his home 3 times. Gladly she danced and leapt at every corner of his simple mountain home. Wherever she moved, flowers burst into bloom, turning the barren yard into paradise. Overjoyed by the beauty she had made, the hermit happily gave her the fire. The next day, 2 passing hunters marveled at flowers they had never seen before. The hunters begged the hermit to let them take some of the wondrous flowers. The hermit gently refused, unwilling to let the sacred flowers be taken away. Instead, the hunters asked where such extraordinary magical flowers could possibly have come from. The hermit told them the whole story of the girl and her selfless spirit. Amazed, the hunters rushed back to tell their king of this extraordinary discovery. Intrigued, the king traveled up the mountain himself to see the girl in person. The king asked the monk to give him the girl, to make her his queen. The monk hesitated, saying a simple forest girl would not suit a king. The king insisted there was truly no difference between them, and asked again. At last the monk agreed, and gave the girl over into the king's care. Before she left, the monk gave her 3 grains of wheat, saying she'd need them. In a grand and joyous ceremony, the girl was married to the king at last. 3 happy, peaceful years passed quickly for the king and his new queen. One day, the king announced he wished to finally visit her parents' home. Alone, she worried deeply, for she had no true parents or home of her own. Remembering the monk's gift, she prayed and threw the 3 grains into the air. At once, a glowing white bird descended, asking gently how it might help her. She told the bird her secret, and it promised to guide and protect her. The next day, she led the king and his retinue, following the bird's flight. After 3 long days of travel, a massive hidden palace appeared before them all. Her powerful father welcomed the entire group with grand and generous hospitality. Days and nights of feasting, music, and celebration filled the grand palace halls. Quietly, her father asked the king to always be kind and gentle with her. The king promised earnestly that he would always care for and cherish her. After a week of celebration, the king said it was time to return home. Her father agreed, but gently asked that they never come to visit again. The king and his retinue left the palace gates happy, unaware of the truth. From a hill above, she turned back to look at the palace one last time. Before her eyes, the entire palace shimmered and vanished into the misty air. She wept quietly, wishing with all her heart that the vision had been real. She understood then it was the monk's magic that had protected her all along. She returned to the king's palace, and together they lived happily ever after.